Hello there and welcome. It is time for another battle report, this time from our May tournament. Again at Magic Stronghold, which is awesome and lets us hold monthly events. This one had 16 players, and this time, instead of our usual side objective that was one thing for like most person who does this the most times or something like that. This time we went with bingo sheet type of objectives. So you can actually see the paper in the top right corner there. So 5x5 grid. Lee, the tournament organizer, he came up with a bunch of things to put in the boxes for things that are likely to happen during a Shatterpoint game, but some fun things for us to try and accomplish throughout the day. So if there's near the ends of our games, you may see people looking at those and trying to figure out what they can check off that list once, probably if they feel like the result of the game is kind of determined already at that point. But anyway, this game will be between Lauren and Geoff. Geoff on the right, Lauren on the left, and Lauren has kind of a classic list, basically an upgraded release list. It's Obi-Wan with Anakin. Anakin has his Commander or Captain Rex, and swapped out those 501sts for the ARF. Obi-Wan has Padawan Ahsoka Tano, who was a release promo, of course, and then swapping in those Republic clone commandos instead of his 212th. Now, Geoff has the Empire list, slapping together Darth Vader, Emperor's Servant, with Moff Gideon, as he had come out, I think, at the start of May. And this is a list that I was thinking about grabbing those two boxes as well. I'm slapping them together. It looks like a very good pairing. And Gideon being a bit of a difficult problem for these Republic lists. So we'll see how this one goes and how Gideon's box plays on the table. Both teams, no, Geoff's team will have 6 force points. However, Vader has a refresh on at the start of his activation, whereas the Republic list will have 7 force points to work with. They'll be playing on Sabotage Showdown, and they said that it is the force refresh on the Shatterpoint. Alright, so Lauren is getting the first activation. Looks like we're starting with the Republic Commandos. Gonna take an advance first towards the center objective. Or maybe just to the front of that back objective. So I'm going to take that defensive maneuver because I probably had to dodge around a building. So move them forward so that they're both on that center point. So that'll get her control of 3 objectives, but not scoring as first player. So second action to take cover. That'll get her 2 hunkers on one unit at the end of their activation. So that was one of the bingo spots on the sheet. So, so Geoff has gotten Stormtrooper Sergeant. Can give a supporting unit a advance, and if they advance, they suffer a damage. So just gonna move them, the Stormtroopers, forward, hitting that ladder. Doing the take cover action after moving to that ladder. And so they'll both be sitting with three controlled objectives, but Geoff will be scoring on his turn. So she has pulled Obi-Wan Kenobi, and what you would want to do, of course, is to reserve him, get his jump, and pull someone else, but Gideon's across the table saying that costs 2 force instead, so not great there, being a team that wants to be spending all of its force on other things. She's gonna move him closer to the stormtroopers. Yeah, this is where Gideon's ability really hurts, because he really has no targets. She's trying to do something productive with this Obi-Wan activation. So just gonna come over and hunker. Try and go over to where Vader is going to be, seeing how the commandos have that other objective locked down so far. All right, back to zero. So they both get a momentum. Geoff pulling up the Moff Gideon, reading through his card, because he said let's learn what he does together, because it's probably first time bringing this out. So he gets to give an allied Galactic Empire character within 4 a dash as well as himself. So giving a Dark Trooper. I think he might have given them both a dash instead of one of them and himself a dash. But now we're reading through Long Live the Empire. So choosing an active objective and an allied Galactic Empire supporting unit. The one character in the unit may reposition toward that objective. So you probably get the one there to the middle where Republic commandos are. And then they would suffer 2 damage. But if he could also get there, he would break the tie with "you have something I want." But just taking the advance, because he missed the dash for Gideon, giving it to the other support. So I'm going to do an attack on the commandos. Just a ranged attack on, looks like self-interest side. Yeah, looks like it's better range side. So getting 2 extra dice for the commandos being double hunkered. Big roll there. All blocks after the expertise. So getting 2 steps and the pin from the expertise. So 3 damage, disarm pin, but it'll be down to 2 damage from protection. Well, it sounds like she has pulled the Shatterpoint, so she gets a refresh. And they're mentioning that Obi-Wan is in position to smack somebody. So all I need is a balls. Yeah, he doesn't move. He could get in range, but he could also just do a hello there, get his 3 extra dice for the attack, and try to chop those stormtroopers. Could also be going after the sergeant, maybe with the move and hello there. That could have gotten there to be pushing him off the objective instead. But stormtroopers are the easy target. Maybe get the wound there, since they have some damage on them. I think one damage out of 9. So looks like she's getting 3 through. So she got 5 damage through shove, disarm, expose. There's really no reason to double shove. I think they have 9 health. Yeah. So 6 out of 9 there. Ready for a wound next time they get attacked. Ah, yeah. And then just do the follow-up down to secure the objectives. That's a good move there. Oh, yeah. Geoff had gotten... Who went? Oh, yeah. Gideon went. Geoff had gotten 3. Lauren pulls it back 4. Not hitting 0, so that's good for her. Sounds like we're reserving Vader and getting the Death Trooper escort instead. Evil Rex. So that's a rangeless dash or advance if they have a damage on them, but a Galactic Empire supporting unit only. No, not just any Galactic Empire unit. Each character, though, so they get, well, that's a dash, which can turn into a reposition. Yeah, that's pretty strong. Probably deciding if he wants to do the tactical advance. He probably needs it to get in range. Oh yeah, move action first. Yeah, protection and sharpshooter. So he wants that focus for the extra dice if he's staying in range, but he's going up in melee. So yeah, still getting the focus, so 8 dice. Expertise is the same either way. That'll mean less dice for the commandos, although they should still get 1 extra from Kenobi. Right, so probably gonna have to take the top track. Yeah, exposed strain and 6 damage down to 5, but that'll get the wound. So he'll get that one for 3 again. Oh, yes, that's right. So 4, because he moved the stormtroopers up to outbody Obi-Wan on that bottom's middle point. So Lauren has picked the not evil Rex. So I'm gonna have to decide who to give that dash to. So I'm gonna give himself the dash and hunker from Get a Move On Soldier. And I'm gonna advance in. Thinking about the defensive maneuver to move up into range with the stormtroopers, get another hunker, and but also have an action to focus before doing the attack. So he's gonna have 8 dice, but the stormtroopers are exposed and have 2 health left. I thought they had 3 health left, but maybe there was 2 damage there before the 5. 4 dice in melee. So Rex is getting a full tree on that. Might as well. Was probably nothing. Yeah, nothing to recover on Obi-Wan. But yeah, more so just deciding if it's an expose or a pin, I guess, that gets thrown on there. So I'll get her the wound. And that'll be 3 points for her. Back on the center, giving them both a momentum. So keeping it even, but Geoff has the second player advantage here of having scored first. So looking at Vader in reserve, but thinking about what else is in his deck, includes the stormtroopers. Stormtroopers, Dark Troopers, Shatterpoint. Yeah, that would be all that's left in his deck. Going with Vader, so he refreshes the Force. He can heal, but he has nothing to heal. So he's going to start with an advance, move action, go into 4-5 Shin, spending the Force to get his dash and 3 dice for the next attack. But if he gets any fail results, then he will become exposed after. So we're going to attack Rex, looking to shove him off the point. he's going to be exposed from his fail result. So we're getting full tree on there. So he can max at 7 damage on this side. So that won't be enough to wound Rex, but he'll definitely get the shove off. Could get double shoves either way. Could get some heals. Yeah, for 1 less damage, could get heals and throw expose on instead of pin and disarm. Doesn't really need the reposition. Well, and disarm. He might be able to reposition to the back point and steal that if the ARFs aren't in range. Oh, we did get the wound there. Who attacked Rex? I don't know if anyone else attacked Rex. Maybe I'm misremembering. Because Rex just came up and yeah, anyway, looks like he's getting a wound. So because he's going to be giving a dash to Moff Gideon. Up. Oh yeah, Gideon should have given him an extra die. You have something I want. But he is tied 1-1. He could have had the Stormtrooper Sergeant jump down and then he'd be flipping that point. If Vader is within contesting range. But either way, he'll be getting he'll be getting 3 points on this turn. Looks like she's pulled Anakin. See, I'm not sure how he got that wound. Because he doesn't get any extra damage here. Or it would be from his ranged. If he threw his lightsaber, then there'd be some from the expertise, but otherwise it's just 7. I'm pretty sure Rex is 8. Or even 9. Yeah, 9. So I'm not sure where that extra damage came from. Stormtrooper Sergeant. Right, that's when another Stormtrooper attacks. So now Anakin is going to come up, do a jump, and attack Vader. So she'll be getting a full tree because Geoff got 0 blocks. Wrong one though, I think it's similar. Yeah, 10, strain, shove. And then gonna do the finish this, whatever it's called. It's going to end this for another. Try and get the wound. Geoff is going over the fact that she had 0 fails in either of these attacks, so he could not do riposte, even though they were both 8 dice attacks. So she's going to take the jump. Now, 2 primaries on that spot. Pretty hard to dislodge that, especially if she puts Anakin into his Form 5 Shen side there. She got a wound on Vader, getting 3 points, which will get them both a momentum again. So things are closing in, and Geoff is sitting with 3 objectives, so he should be getting this struggle in his next turn either way. So flipped up the stormtroopers. They are currently wounded. Knows that the dark troopers are next, but he's already getting his 3 points to get this struggle. So let's see what he decides to go with. He could move the stormtroopers to kind of spread them out on the objectives. Yeah, he's going to activate the stormtroopers because there's no one on his back point. They've all left for the middle there. So the one is almost there. He could just move over. The other one, well, you have to dash because he's engaged. What do they have? Does he have extra movement? Assault tactics, yeah, they could do it. Could do a dash, second dash, to get to the center. So looking to, I guess, get Kenobi off of that objective. So that would cost 2 force, an action, but Obi-Wan will become exposed, push 2 away. So we're gonna do another 2 force for assault tactics now. So looking to flip that point. So they have sharpshooter, but they're both in melee. I think he added a die. I think he said he's adding a die from sharpshooter, but this will be a melee attack. But he is getting 1 from Gideon. So getting 2 down the tree for 2 damage and strain on Anakin. Do the second attack now. Same thing. Oh, so Stormtrooper Sergeant, giving out an extra 2 dice because there are 2 Stormtrooper units. No, it should just be 1 extra die on that because it's other than the attacking unit. Getting a full tree on there. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Strain either expose or pin. Probably expose. Or expose or disarm. Could go either way there. Taking the heals instead of the damage and strain. So just the 5 damage. But we're going to do expose, I think he said. So he's getting the bingo option where 4 characters are contesting 1 active objective. Getting his 4 points, which will finish off the struggle. Let's see what they pick for Lauren to start off struggle 2. The refresh a force one again. Line. Yeah, so Ahsoka's still back on Lauren's back point. The center's going to be active either way. And everyone's abandoned Geoff's back point. So makes it an easy choice for Lauren there, because otherwise the Death Trooper is standing on his other back point. And I'm not sure if the ARFs are quite in range of her bottom back point. So priority objective is the one that Ahsoka is currently controlling. So, but only has 1 force left. Okay, pulled the ARFs, so that's lucky there. Gonna do defensive maneuver. Obi-Wan, I think, has been pushed onto the center, so that's quite lucky for Lauren as well. Although I think he's exposed from the Stormtroopers, so he might be able to be knocked off. Not too... might not be too difficult to knock him off there. Looks like they're going to be attacking Vader? Or no, Vader's wounded, so it's probably the Stormtroopers. So yeah, 3 getting through. For 3 damage, pin and expose. Could do a shove. Not far to shove, cannot be hitting something either way. No longer exposed for this attack. Ooh, some crits in there, that's nice. So full tree there. Could be 5. And then pin. Oh yeah, they would have been exposed from... But then, yeah, I think she re-exposed them because he didn't do disarm. So they should have been re-exposed, but got the wound anyway. Getting the momentum there. And those 2 points will be worth 3. The priority. So good start for Lauren on that first activation of the struggle. Geoff pulls the Dark Troopers. And rolls for priority. Middle objectives, so gonna have to try and, well, he could just get them both on the center objective, and that would flip it for him. But sure, he's gonna do some attacks on Obi-Wan as well. Let's see if they can push him while he is exposed. They do have, yeah, shove, pin, second shove, potentially. Wow, jump on their tree. I've obviously not played them yet. I did play against them once in this tournament. Wasn't sure if he should be engaged with Obi-Wan or not there, but checking the tree, it's their expertise in melee is also pretty good with all those crits, potential damage on 3 instead of a hit. So because it's in melee, Obi-Wan does not get to do his so uncivilized. He's exposed though, which is not. Thought he was exposed. Yeah, I thought he was exposed from Stormtrooper, but I think she got the results from that. Gonna do the push. So getting 2 results. 3 damage and pin on that one. So we're going to use the shove to get him on that center point at the right elevation. So he gets 2 points and a momentum. I did not get rid of that. There we go. So priority is the back currently uncontested point. We haven't refreshed, so it'll be Ahsoka that's left. So she has a lot of movement, but I'm not sure that it's enough to quite get there. Maybe she has a reposition on her tree. Oh yeah, that's second spot. So it's possible, but when people have repositions on the tree, not everybody kind of factors that into their potential movement. So we'll see if Lauren is thinking about that. Well, she has no force for the jumps, so even with the reposition, wouldn't be able to get to that back point. She could. She can have either Obi-Wan or Anakin do a dash. So she could dash Obi-Wan back in there. She could have used the hunker to dash him back onto the point as well after the attack. Then she would just need to shove one off. But it looks like she just moved up to secure, keep securing the point that she has. So that'll just be one. I think Geoff pulled his Shatterpoint as the last card. He's gonna activate Gideon. He's calling him Gideon Hask, because I think he was recently revealed before this tournament. But Moff Gideon will go. Can give dash to himself and another Galactic Empire unit within 4. So looking to attack that back point. Dashing the Dark Trooper up as well. All right, so giving both Dark Troopers a dash, but it should just be one character from the chosen unit, or the chosen character. He's going to do Long Live the Empire. Attempting to secure all 3 points. Be a big swing here. He has a move action still. Okay, so leaving the Dark Trooper contesting, hoping to either push her off. It's taking the self-interest side, looking for the 2 shoves. 2 successes, so that's not quite gonna do it. Unless you can get an angle to push her away. 3 damage. Where's the shove gonna go? And yeah, she's still contesting. So taking the 3 points. He will. He's kind of solidifying that center point by keeping Gideon there, being a tiebreaker. But yeah, if he was able to, yeah, he could have had the Dark Trooper stay on the center and then move Gideon in, and then he would be flipping that back point with his tie breaking. So that could have got him all 3 objectives. All right, so Anakin is going to go, doing a jump to get on the same level as the Stormtrooper Sergeant. Will take the strain for 3 damage, putting him at 10 out of 11. So risky business there. Could have done a recover first, unless she wants to do a move action to the back point. hoping to get the wound here as well. Oh, who did she wound with him? She did wound Vader, so that must have been... That would have moved the struggle tracker one more, or one, didn't it? I haven't played him for a long time. I want to try him again. But yeah, that would have put the struggle tokens. That also makes more sense as to why Geoff was securing that the fourth point there, because they might have had one less momentum each, and then yeah, and then he would have needed 4. So she would have got the wound there. Oops. And just the 1 point. I'll get them both the momentum. So activating Dark Troopers. So doing a focus and then attack. So first one attacking Ahsoka with 7 dice. So 2 damage push pin. She got 3 expertise, so she'll use the jump to get rid of the pin. And so now he will be getting that back point. So scoring all 4 here. So the other is going to attack Anakin. Anakin only needs 1 more damage to be wounded. It is already disarmed. Oops. So getting 4 down. So push pin, disarm. So he gets 4 and the momentum for wounding Anakin. So very close to grabbing this struggle. It's going to be very difficult to come back from here. Which really needs to be trying to flip 2 points, but she currently doesn't have anyone on any of the active objectives, so very difficult task. She can't just push someone off and leave someone, like push someone off of a tied spot in order to flip it. It's okay, and Anakin or Obi-Wan's going to be going, and looks like the center is priority. So I'm going to try to push Gideon off. But yeah, Obi-Wan doesn't have a way really to affect 2 points, 2 objectives. Hasn't rolled for priority yet. But it's the center anyway. I'll do the hello there to move in. So 4 down the tree. Can definitely get those 2 shoves. 6 damage, disarm and expose. So 2 shoves, definitely getting him off the point there. So I'll flip the middle for Lauren. Get 2 points and momentum for not crossing a 0. So Geoff, priority on the back point. So he'll be getting that, getting the 3 points that he needs. He pulled the Dark Troopers again. Must have had a reshuffle for Vader. Or no, he might have done a Shatterpoint on the Dark Troopers. And so, but the objectives that he has, he can leave if he wanted to. But yeah, so looking at the bingo card to see what else he can try to get here. Gonna do an attack on Obi-wan, I think. Yeah. Obi-wan, who did, I'm not sure if he did so uncivilized. He doesn't have a hunker anymore, so that would have been lost by activating. Pin and 4 damage. Either got a shove or jump that he's not using there. Eight, 4 damage. So that will get the wound on Kenobi. So getting 3 points for the win there. So I'd say, I think, kind of falling into the trap a little bit with Anakin of trying to make sure that he's wounding on every turn. Because I think there was probably a way that he could have gone for that back point while it was it was contested, but he definitely could have gotten to the back point and maybe in Form 5 Shen gone for the shoves on the Dark Trooper to get them off. Then, for one thing, getting that point, Anakin being a primary is a little harder to be pushing off of the point. So rather than allowing Geoff to, on Gideon's turn, move those Dark Troopers around, so that he had the potential to be getting all 3 objectives, and which he did eventually do. But definitely could have focused on making sure that objectives are getting flipped a little bit more. Avoided reserving Obi-Wan, which is fair enough for sure, given Gideon's extra force cost there for trying to reserve. But then yeah, the order deck wasn't terrible for her. The ARFs hanging back. I mean, yeah, the ARFs getting drawn when Ahsoka was needing to sit on the other point to claim it. That was good. I guess having commandos and then Kenobi wasn't great, because Kenobi just kind of moved across the board and didn't have any targets to attack, didn't have any objectives to flip really. So that was definitely that second activation for Lauren where Obi-Wan was flipped. Definitely hurt a little bit that he wasn't able to be reserved, because that definitely would have been a prime opportunity to do so. By the time Anakin activated, there were targets in range for him, so that was good, and a primary as well, who was ready to be wounded, so that was good for Anakin there. I forgot about his struggle token movement for wounding a primary there, and everyone would have gotten a heal on that as well. So that's ideally what you want Anakin doing, as far as I know, as well, as long as he can also be flipping a point at the same time. So yeah, definitely a strong list that Geoff had there with the Empire. I think he was getting a little bit of extra movement out of Gideon's tactic there, since it is similar to Dooku's, where you choose an allied Galactic Empire character within 4, and then Gideon, as well as the chosen character, gets a dash rather than the full unit. But yeah, definitely a lot of synergy happening in this list. A lot of tactics abilities, with Stormtrooper Sergeant giving out an advance at the cost of an advance to the full unit, with the cost of a damage to that unit. Same with Death Trooper Escort. Yeah, no range limits on those 2 secondary tactic abilities. And he also gives a dash to each character in the chosen unit, but if they have suffered damage, which is likely given all the other things going on in Empire, then it could be not only an advance, but actually a reposition. So very strong tactic ability there. And yeah, Vader, if he gets a wound, giving out a dash to a Galactic Empire character. No range limit as well there. So yeah, a lot of very strong out of activation movement stuff going on. Although half of it, I guess, is going into the supports. The secondaries, it has to go into support units. But both the primaries can give a dash to anyone. Just Gideon's is locked to range 4. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And this was the first game of our 3-round tournament. So that means that there are going to be 2 more battle reports incoming. So we'll see you next time.